united with the demand to drop the charges against the Uhuru three and to get these bogus charges dropped so we can continue to fight for our liberation. And I want to, before I continue any further, I want to salute my comrade Penny Hess, who was up here with me, one of the Uhuru three. And I really want to, before I go any further, salute my leadership, Chairman Amalia Shatella, Chairman of the African People's Socialist Party. Uhuru, let's give it up for the chairman. Who we understand was the main attack, was the main target of these attacks, as well as Deputy Chair Otis and Elia Shatella, who is leading the over 50 economic institutions of the African People's Socialist Party, which has given us a reason to fight for something, and has given them, and we understand this is the reason why they attacked this movement. So I'll just, if you want to say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Wade. You've done an amazing job leading the Hands Off Uhuru fight back for 2 years, fighting like hell under the leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatella and the Uhuru movement. I want to just say that I am the chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, the organization of white people under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement, with the mandate to go into the white community to organize other white people to stand for reparations to African people. We have been in existence since 1976, almost 50 years, under the leadership of the chairman. So I want to salute the incredible leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatella. I want to salute our co-defendant, quote unquote, Comrade Jesse Neville, the chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. We are winning under the leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatella, Deputy Chair Otis and Shatella, and the African People's Socialist Party. We will win. We are winning. Thank you for coming out. This is incredibly important, as it's been called. The case of the century is here. If the Uhuru movement and Chairman Amalia Shatella is convicted, there will not be the First Amendment as we know it in this country. We will fight back. We are fighting back. We are winning. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrade. And I just want to really unite with Comrade Chairman Penny, because this has been a fight. And as she had said, we have had, over the past 2 years, over 50 webinars to be able to keep this case in front of the people, to be able to raise the resources that we needed so that we can beat the colonials, and I'll keep it clean, beat them in the courthouse. Also, I just wanted to say that this fight, we have been in a fight to get national and international attention on this case. And you know, around the world, we have supporters on the continents all around the world saying, drop the charges on the Uhuru three. And we have experienced bank closures, economic sanctions. This radio station was shut down so that nobody would know that these attacks happened on July 29th. And the Uhuru three have been under surveillance since this whole entire thing has happened. And again, I just want to salute all of our volunteers, everybody who has flown across the country. Some drove across the country to be here, to be able to be there on September 3rd to pack the courthouse. We are serious. We're going to pack the courthouse. We're going to pack the streets. If you have not signed up, Uhuru, you have not signed up, go to our table over there to get more information about what to expect on the day of the court. And again, this fight back is not happening in isolation. They wanted to isolate this case, but this is happening as we see across the world, this anti-colonial struggle that has continued for over 600 years. But here in the belly of the beast, they have to face what's happening in Palestine, have to face what's happening here on this stolen indigenous land. So we say from sea to shining sea, and from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free and indigenous people shall be free. Africa will be free, and this colonial fight back is not going to, it's going to happen in the belly of the beast on September 3rd, and we are going to win, as the comrade said. We are winning, comrades. So the Uhuru three are not guilty, and in fact, we know who is guilty. It is the U.S. government for its centuries and history of its bloody track record against the people. So, comrades, this is a historic moment. Freedom Summer, 60 years later, and we're going to take it home. So I just want to say, hands up for her. Keep the charges on the Uhuru three. Uhuru. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, salute my incredible leadership, SGMYZ, salute Chairwoman Penny Hess. So we want to have some culture, and I'm looking for Comrade Sister Sight. Oh, there you are. How you doing, Sister Sight? All right, well, Sight is SYTE. stands for Singing You Through Evangelism. And she's a gospel singer out of Tampa and the wife of William Pickett and a member of the Chaotic Streets Church. And Sister Sight is going to be coming and singing for us. And we always want to connect. Let her have revolutionary culture. So y'all give a hand for Comrade Sister Sight. All right, so my name is Keita Carmichael Pickett, and yes, my stage name is Sight. I thank you all for coming out for the support. I always say this before I entertain, I guess that's what they call it, but I call it ministry, so, or evangelizing. So I would also like to say that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I am a true believer. I do stand on love, so I love each and every one of you all. And I thank y'all all again for coming out supporting this great cause. Mr. Yesatella has really been a blessing to me, and he has completely been a shining star, you know, especially in this good old neighborhood and for all people. You understand what I'm saying? For us. So I'm going to sing one song, and when I'm done, everybody is, I welcome everybody to the table on the inside of the Uhuru house to purchase some of my items. I have CDs and t-shirts available, okay? All right, enjoy. Hey, come on, put your hands together. Yeah, God has been good to you, you oughta. I said, now if God has been good to you, you oughta. I said, now if God has been mighty good to you, you oughta. Clap your hands. Come on, put your hands together and stomp your feet. Come on and praise the Lord. Tell me why. I said, now here comes you were this morning, you brought up. I said, now here's my God, I woke you up this morning, you brought up. I said, now here's my God, woke you up this morning, you brought up. Clap your hands. Come on, put your hands together and stomp your feet. Come on, yeah. Come on and praise the Lord. Tell me why. I said, now if God, you don't find it today, you oughta. I said, now if God, you don't find it today, you oughta. I know that my God, He here to find it today, you oughta. Clap your hands. Come on and clap and praise the Lord. Yeah, praise the Lord. Tell me why. I said, now if God woke you up this morning, you oughta. I said, now if God woke you up this morning, you oughta. Y'all, get that baby. is my God, woke you up this morning, you called up. Take your hands, come on, put your hands and stop your feet. Pick them up from the ground, pick them up and praise the Lord. Take me back. Yeah. He's been good. Woke me up this morning, started me on my way. He's been good. Yeah. Come on, you been good. Come on, you been good. Come on, you been good. Yeah, so good. Yeah, so good. Yeah. Yes, he has. Can I get a witness? Yes, he has. Let me up this morning. Yes, he has. Started me on my way. Yeah. Yeah. If God has been good to you, you gotta. I said, now if God has been good to you, you gotta. I said, now if my God has been mighty good to you, you gotta. Clap your hands. Come on, put your hands together and stomp your feet. Come on, pick them up, put them down and praise the Lord. Tell me why. All right, now. It's your turn now. I tell you, don't take it like after him. All right, now. Y'all ready? Are you Oh, see, that's what we talk about when we talk about culture. You know, Sharon always says that when they read the Bible, that's the religion of the oppressed. You know what I mean? And that's speaking straight to African people when we hear that story. And Chairman has an incredible presentation titled "If Jesus Was Such a Revolutionary, Then Why Is Your Preacher Uncle Tom?" I encourage everybody to go out and watch that one. He analyzes the Bible in such a revolutionary way. It's historic. So we want to keep the program moving. And Charles, very nice work.
First of all, I saw some of these materialists letting the spirit get to them. They're trying not to clap. They're trying not to clap. But, you know, matter of fact, they didn't want to see, and I'm not going to call them out, Omawali, but I'm just saying, some of my materialist brothers and sisters need to understand that you can be a revolutionary Christian and a materialist at the same time. You can be a Malcolm X and a materialist at the same time. So we believe that there's a revolutionary, black revolutionary Jesus Christ. And all of you who love Marcus Garvey, he was a Christian. That's right, and he had a spiritual movement. So, in my few remarks before we get about speakers, you want to say?
I wanted to just say that Comrade Sister Sykes CDs are available right at the entry booth. Everybody go ahead and take a moment to support this sister who spent her time reintroducing us to our African music. I love how she broke it down with the tambourine, and there's such a historical relevance to that and who we are. It's the origin of so much of the music that we listen to today, from rock music to any of the rhythms and blues, and et cetera. So I just want to really salute her.
Salute her. Let the church say amen. All right, I'll take that. So we want everybody to understand the importance. In Africa, the spirit means a lot. They may embrace other ideologies, but the spirit means a lot. So we come here today to say that there's a revolution going on in the world. You know, capitalism, imperialism is dying all over the world. And one of the first places it's dying is in Africa. When you look at the Sahel region of Africa, when you look at what Burkina Faso said, when you look at what Mali said, when you look what Niger said, they said, France, get the hell out of Africa and take America with you. And when you leave the uranium behind, because that's ours. Africa is the richest continent in the world. And the paradox of Africa is that it's the richest continent in the world with the poorest people, because of imperialism and colonialism, and worse yet, the more sinister neo-colonialism. So we have to make sure we don't let black faces in high places seem like some progress. In fact, it is the worst kind of forward movement that could happen when you have a black face espousing capitalism and imperialism. That is the worst thing that could happen. So brothers and sisters from New York City, from the Operation Power, our organization, we beat badly. We beat the most powerful Democratic Party machine in the state, the Kings County, Brooklyn Democratic Organization. We beat them and took over local politics, the city council and the state assembly seat. And we could not have done that without my wife of 42 years, my African queen, Inez Barron, and all of the members of Operation Power. So that's a message that we want to continue to bring to you. We are winning, we will win. So now we're going to continue the program. Wait, let me check one more time. Let the church say amen. Just check it. Just check. Don't be afraid of. We were praying for him. He said, please do. I need anything I can get. Just in case there is a God, just in case, you better put that on the list too. So he said, please, by all means. Our next speakers we're going to have Iman from the New Era Young Lords, organizing for national liberation of the colonized Puerto Rican people. Iman is based right here in Tampa, Florida. We got him. We want also Ward Churchill to come up, the revolutionary author, if he is here, historian of the indigenous people, expert on COINTELPRO, and dear friend of the Uhuru movement since the 1960s, if you will come forward. And in my comrade from New York, Omawali Clay, the chair of the December 12th movement, a Black human rights organization based in New York, and one of the first organizations, come on up, Omawali, one of the first organizations that came out to support the Uhuru movement, and we have to give our blessings, our credit, and our memory. We got the speakers lining up to Viola Plummer, our sister Viola Plummer, who made her transition we will always, always honor her. And with Omowale is Roger Wareham, a revolutionary lawyer in the movement. And Roger, the guest with you, the young sister. Adiana, wave your hand. And I will never get up here and talk about New York without talking about Betty Davis. Betty Davis is our comrade, our soldier in New York. So those three will have Iman first, Ward Churchill, and Omowale Clay. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades. So I want to thank you, Uhuru, for having the young lords here today. When I was thinking about what to say today, I had a little hard time. But I had the blessing to be able to actually hear Amalia Chatella speak at a press conference the other day. And I actually learned a little bit about St. Petersburg history, Florida history, Black history. And as a lifetime Floridian, I find it interesting that this is history that they never taught in our public school system, right? But I made parallels as a Puerto Rican, as a Boricua. We also didn't learn about Puerto Rican history. We didn't learn about the Young Lords organization. Just like the Uhuru movement has been a staple right here in St. Pete, the Young Lords was also a staple in Lincoln Park, Chicago. That's left out of our history books as well. We didn't learn about the Machateros in Puerto Rico that fought for the self-determination and independence of Puerto Rico. And I found one common denominator in this equation as I made this analysis, and that's the Ku Klux colonizer that has attempted to bury our history time and time and again. And while they killed many of our leaders during the peak of COINTELPRO in the 60s, leaders like Amalia Chatella, an original young lord who happens to be here in Tampa, David Rivera, are testaments to the failure of their counterinsurgency. That's right. And just like Amalia Chatella stood with the Young Lords back in the 70s in New York City, the Young Lords and Boricuas all together stand in solidarity with the Uhuru 3, uncompromising, with zero apologies for that. So we're going to continue to stand with y'all. And I just wanted to give that statement of solidarity as the Boricuas, as the Young Lords. We're here. That's until the casket drops. All right, Uhuru and hands off Africa.
See you. Hello, my relatives. Good to see you here. And it's an honor to be here on Miccosukee land. Miccosukee land. Not the state of Florida, not the county, not the city, not the federal. This is Miccosukee land. Never really ceded, simply taken, contrary to law, despite the longest resistance war recognized by the United States in the history of the United States. Miccosukee, who together with Seminole, was an amalgamation, if you will, of fragments of people who've been decimated by the European invasion, aligned with free blacks, as they were called at the time, Africans, African descended people, who had escaped from chattel slavery and taken up arms, built communities in North Florida. That's where we are. The history of resistance, the history of struggle, the history of oppression, the history of all of it is embodied in the reality of the land on which we stand now. So allow me to say, in behalf of Osceola and Wildcat and all those others who came before, Uhuru, Uhuru, Uhuru. That's what it was about then. That's what it was about now. That's what it will be about no matter what they do. COINTELPRO, which is supposedly an area of my expertise, is simply a particular phase and a continuing evolution of a phase in that history that I just spoke of, to resist what it is that's being done in the name of freedom, which has to do with the suppression of freedom, the obliteration of freedom, the removal of freedom from all people in the United States, irrespective of your genealogy, irrespective of other aspects of your history. That is what it is about. This trial is not only a continuation of the McCarthyite trials of the 1950s and the COINTELPRO onslaught of the 1960s and the things that have occurred since. It is in a way an escalation. It is an escalation which we are duty bound, morally bound, not only for our ancestors in respect and honor to them, but for ourselves in our present moment, and for our children and our children's children and our children's children's children, 7 generations into the future. That's the nature of the struggle. I am proud to be a part of it. I hope that you all are too. And with that, let's talk about it.
Shut up. Uhuru, we came to see about Comrade O'Malley and the Uhuru movement because the Uhuru movement and Comrade O'Malley have come to see about us. So that's why we're here. We're here where we're supposed to be right now. There's no other place to be because there's some guilty people. There's some guilty people, but not who you think. There's somebody guilty for building a Uhuru house. Yeah. They're guilty of doing that. There's somebody guilty of defending the community against the police. What's it mean? Charles, you didn't take away from my time. Clock stop. See, you know, New York is slick, you know. The clock stops. The clock stops. Yeah. All right, straight ahead. Good. Good. As I said, there's some guilty people, and the Uhuru movement and Comrade O'Malley are guilty. The party is guilty of wanting to raise our people up, of wanting to fight for self-determination, to dare to put a red, black, and green that big in us and they owe us. And we understand that. That's why we say, if there's no justice, there cannot be any peace. 40 years ago, clock stopped. Too much power from New York. Too much power. Sounds like somebody from Manhattan is back there. Oh, your side. Well, we had microphones. This was it. No, I'm on it now. No, they might want to record it.
Yeah, that's what, that's
They need more
interesting.
value.
Yeah, that's, Go ahead.
Penny, Alex said, I apologize. For his lack of discipline. Get back on the track. Take to the whiskey. They got to report. But I.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, it's working?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I need to be anyway, on the ground. We came from New York to December 12th movement because, as we said, this is where we needed to be. Because the Uhuru movement, I've known for over 50 years. And they've always been down on the side of the people. And don't think, because after we win this fight, it's over. Amir Baraka said once, you know, when you defeat the enemy, the enemy goes back to regroup to come back again. So don't think when we win this trial, they're going away. They're here because fascism is on our doorstep. It's on our doorstep. And it's not a question of whether it's Trump or Kamala Harris. It's only one state. It's only one interest for imperialism and colonialism. And it's seated right in Washington, D.C., whoever is sitting in the White House. So we got to understand that. So we just came to be here with y'all, and to be here with Comrade O'Malley, and the party, and the movement, and the supporters, because this is where we needed to be. Yeah. In October 17th, it will be 40 years since the Joint Terrorist Task Force came at the New York 8, in Brooklyn, in Queens, in Manhattan. 500 joint terrorist agents came to our homes, machine guns, bazookas, everything they had. When I saw what they did here, I said, they don't do that to nobody else. They do that to us. There were no guns and explosives. You know what was there? Consistent revolutionary work. That was the crime that they want to prosecute. And they're going to keep prosecuting it until we free. So I say, we're going to win. We won 40 years ago. And you know how we won? Because we had the people on our side. You know how we won? Because we smart as hell. Yeah. You know how we won? Because we creative as hell. That's right. And you know why? Because they on the wrong side of history. Black power. Black people. Black people. Black people. Black people. Need black power. Need black power. We will win. Thank you. Good evening.
We got a chant that goes, Black people, united, will never be defeated. Black people, united, will never be defeated. Uhuru. So the comrade was just talking about revolutionary organization, and we want to expound upon that. We want to talk about the work that we're doing right now, especially as a part of the All African People's Education and Defense. All African People Development and Empowerment Project. So here from Alabama, we have Dr. Aisha Fields here to speak. Uhuru! And then we'll also hear from Sister Afia, who is representing the Malcolm X Center for Self-Determination, who's also a former SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee member, and works for the WMXP-FM radio station in South Carolina. So let's begin with Dr. Aisha Fields. Uhuru. No.
All right. We good now? All right. Uhuru! Uhuru! Hands off Uhuru 3! Hands off Uhuru 3! Now, when I say hands off Uhuru, you say hands off Africa. Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Africa! All right, Uhuru. I just really want to appreciate the opportunity to participate in this rally, and I want to just be so appreciative of like all of the comrades and supporters and friends who have come from around the country to participate in this rally and to stand in solidarity with the leadership that is really creating a new world, and that is the leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatila and the Uhuru movement, and our comrades Penny Hess and Jesse Neville, who are now, experiencing what it's like to be on the front line, to be the tip of the spear. And I really just want to appreciate having the opportunity to work under the leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatila for almost 20 years now as the director of the All African Peoples Development and Empowerment Project. This is an organization that was envisioned by the chairman and that was called for to be developed by Chairman Amalia Shatila to win African people who have skills that are typically denied to the African liberation movement, to win African doctors, nurses, engineers, people with skills in development-related areas, and to pool those skills together to create African-led self-determination projects that address the need for food, clothing, water, shelter, education for Africa and African people. And it's the chairman who called for AFDEP to build Project Black Ankh, which is developing as the African nation's response to the Red Cross, something that can respond when there are natural disasters that impact African people anywhere around the world. So I think it's incredible that this is the leadership that's being attacked and threatened with not only 15, years in prison potentially, but that's being called somehow an agent of Russia. How ridiculous of a charge could the United States government come up with? And I think that it's just incredible that even a child, my 3 children grew up in the Uhuru movement. And when they heard what the charges were that were, being leveled against Chairman and Penny and Jesse, they laughed. They said, this is the best they could come up with. And I said, this is what they came up with, baby. And they said, if we know that this is cool, then people have to know everywhere that this is just garbage. So if the babies know this is garbage, we all have to understand that this is garbage. But the reality is that we have to let the state know that we are willing to do whatever is necessary to ensure the freedom of our comrades and to continue the incredible work that has been led by Chairman Amalia Shatila and the Uhuru movement. And I really just want to say that I appreciate again and salute everybody is here because what we are really witnessing is a consolidation of the anti-colonial free speech movement, that we have people from throughout the political spectrum who can recognize their interest in defending the Uhuru movement. This is incredible. And this is the kind of unity that the state does not want to see. So, and this is the unity that will help to push back what it is that's not only, attempting to happen now, but that will continue to happen as the contradictions in this system deepen. So let's stay resolute. Let's continue to not only call for the charges to be, dismissed, and let's not just continue to say that should this trial, continue and go forward, that they be found innocent, but that we have the right as African people, as oppressed people, and as all freedom-loving people to use our voices to organize for all of humanity to see a future that we can all live in. So I just want to say, hands off Chairman Amalia Shatila, hands off Comrade Yes, hands off, Comrade Jesse Neville. We must be victorious. Uhuru. Uhuru. We are winning. Let's bring Black Power back to the stage. We got Black Power back to the microphone. Let's bring it back to the stage. So I'm really excited to bring on Sister Afia. Can we get some assistance, some helping hands for Sister Afia? And then I know a lot of you are familiar with DJ Eddie, who's walking across the front seats right now. We're going to hear from DJ Eddie after we hear from Sister Afia. DJ Eddie is our station manager of Black Power 96.3, our revolutionary radio station, our Freedom Summer station, and we're so excited to hear some words from him. But let's start with Sister Afia Ngwaza. All right, Uhuru. You know, my heart is so full. I was saying to a friend, a comrade, we gotta find occasions other than funerals to get together. And this is an occasion that we celebrate not only our survival, but we celebrate the victory that we claim. We claim the victory because the power is in the people, and we are the people. It is the power in the people that doesn't quit. I had written down a whole bunch of stuff that I was going to say about O'Malley. But I think that in the tradition of SNCC and in celebration and salute of him and Penny and Jesse, I just want to sing a song. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let the U.S. government turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let the U.S. government turn me around. We're gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up to freedom land. We're gonna side with you free all the way, all the way, all the way. We're gonna stand with you all free all the way to a freedom land. Uhuru. Uhuru. DJ Eddie, I think we need to get that one on the station. So next up, we're going to hear from DJ Eddie. And then after that, we've got Barry Bender from the Green Party, the leader of the Green Party in New Jersey, who's going to be speaking up, who's also a member of Hands Off Uhuru. So we're going to begin with our very own comrade, DJ Eddie, the baddest DJ on the radio, our Freedom Summer Station manager. And then we're going to follow that up with Barry Bender, Uhuru.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Turn this way. I see y'all. I don't see you, but I certainly feel you, man, coming on out. What a beautiful day, man. Absolutely gorgeous day to be out. I guess the planet's lining up for us, man, already. So I want to say thank you for all of y'all who come out and listen to the radio station and support. So many people have come out, and I'm just so happy to see Deputy Chair Honors today, and Red Beard and Charles Barron from New York City, Aisha Fields from Alabama. I said they coming in far and live. I'll tell you a little bit about my story and my journey coming to Black Power 96.3 FM radio station. For 35 years, I sung downtown in the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida, and in front of a store called McCory's. I sung out there day and night, in the heat, in the sun, in the rain, in the cold, trying to survive, you know. As Black people, African people, we just barely be making it, and we barely surviving. And I sung out on the streets and sung and played my guitar, raising a family, got married, had 3 kids. And after about 35 years, I said to myself, and I said to the Lord, what am I going to do? I'm turning 50 plus years old. I can't keep singing outside on the street corners. And then someone told me there was a new radio station called Black Power. I said, they called my name. Black Power. They called my name. I'm black and I got power. So I wanted to go out and I came and I said, I want to be a DJ. And I never forget the person that was here, manager at the time, say, you want to be a DJ? I say, yeah. He say, aren't you blind? I say, yes, I am. He said, well, I don't know if you can do it. I said, well, give me a chance, man. Give me a chance. And he said, okay, I guess I'll give you a chance. And deputy chair, she urged me on. And next thing you know, I was playing music and I was DJing and I was finding love for my community. And they was finding love for me, most importantly. You know, and I kept on doing it. And deputy chair came in on the Sunday. I love her to death, man. I tell you. What a beautiful woman, what just inspiring. She just inspires everybody that she touches or walks past, you know, very inspiring. And I kept on, she said, DJ Eddie, you can't see, but I like your vision. I said, okay. And she said, we want you to be the assistant manager. I said, talk slow. And 2.5 years after that, and came back and said, we want you to be station manager. And I am so glad that there is freedom. There is a Black Power radio station here in St. Pete, and soon across the nation we'll have others. And that shows you the power of our community. Show you the power of Black people. We can do anything, man. I am a proven, take a picture. Take a picture, make a post, say, look at the blind man, a manager of a radio station, nationwide, across the country. People call me from Africa, Canada. One day I got a call and, you know, my phone talks to me and it says area code 647. I was like, what the hell? I've never heard of this radio station. I mean, area code. So I called him back. I thought it was one of the scams. You know how scams do all the time. And I called back and said, hello? I say, yes, how can I help you? Say, I'm listening to you in Canada, man. You are getting down, bro. I said, yes, thank you so much, Uhuru. It means freedom. And I just want to say thank you to the chairman, O'Malley Yesatella. That brother has been fighting for over 60 years so that I can stand on this stage right now and tell you I'm station manager. That brother has been fighting for all of us for 60 plus years so that we can come out and enjoy it. It is a time for all of us, and I'm talking to not only us sitting here, but if anybody, this is the time to stand behind this brother that has been speaking in London, Germany, Oxford. How many people have been invited to Oxford to speak? Chairman O'Malley had done that. And he just didn't start this. And he said it all the time. And I'll say it. Ain't no Russian ever told us to do anything for ourselves. If anybody told us to do anything, it was a damn American. It was a white man saying, sit down, shut up, don't read that book, don't do this, don't do that. You cannot do this, you can't do that. And that's what America has done for Black people, just brainwashing all the people that they could. But O'Malley Yesatella said, hell no, we're not going for that. Throw down the mirrors, throw down the mirror. First action. This is the city of resistance, man. And O'Malley Yesatella done that. And we just want to say that to him. And we want to salute Chairman O'Malley. We want to make sure that he is supported everywhere, everywhere. So hands off. Can I say it like I say all the time? O'Malley Yesatella and Jesse Neville, yes. Thank you. Uhuru.
Hands off Africa. That's right. So next we want to hear from Mr. Barry Bender, representative from the Green Party in New Jersey, as well as a member of Uhuru.
Uhuru. I'll for you with the power. Thank you. Yeah.
First of all,
I want to say how grateful I am to have been invited here to speak to these people. Thank you very, very much. My name's Barry Bender, and I'm the elections chairman for the Green Party of New Jersey. And we're working real hard to change things, but we all know what we're here for. Okay, we're here for Jesse, we're here for Penny, and we're here for the chairman. Because what's going on is completely upside down, which our whole country is kind of upside down now too. We have it going on in New Jersey also. I have a close friend, Lisa Davis, who she and I were participating in a foundation for Gaza, and the police decided to charge her with illegal, having an event illegally and disturbing the peace. She wasn't the organizer of the event, but she happened to be the only Black woman in the crowd. Okay. My impressions nowadays are the oppression coming from our government is increasing and increasing and increasing. But that's my perception. Okay, our brown and Black brothers and sisters have seen this for centuries. Okay, and it's just becoming apparent to someone like myself at this point. So it's new to me, but I know many people here have been aware of this for, as I said, for centuries. I have a question. If Jesse and Penny and the chairman are foreign agents, then who are the elected officials who are receiving money from AIPAC? Are they not foreign agents also? Why aren't they going after them? The hypocrisy of this government is absolutely, it makes you want to toss your cookies, to coin a phrase, okay? But we have to keep working, we have to keep fighting, all of us, because things are upside down. They continue to be upside down. And the only way that we change it is to keep saying what we need to say. So the more repressive they become, the more expressive we need to be. Hands off Uhuru, all power to the people. Thank you very much. Uhuru, Black power, Black people.
We're gonna hear next from Sheridan Murphy. And Sheridan Murphy is representing the Leonard Peltier ad hoc committee and the American Indian movement in Florida. Let's give it up for Sheridan.
My name is Sheridan Murphy. I'm only speaking on behalf of the American Indian movement. We actually have someone here from the ad hoc committee who will do that on Paulette's behalf. Later. When we talk about the Uhuru 3, we have to look at the history, right? We have to look at the reality. The Uhuru 3 aren't on trial because they talked to some Russians, right? I think we all know that here. But it needs to be clear everywhere why the Uhuru 3 is on trial, right? Because we just had the birthday for Fred Hampton, who they murdered. They have a history of murdering and silencing and shutting up and attacking those who stand up against the colonial settler state, wherever they are, right? They've done it to every movement that has stood up and been real. They've done it to the American Indian movement. They've done it to the Young Lords, the Brown Berets, the Crusade for Justice. I can go on and on, the Black Panther Party, and they're doing it to the Uhuru movement. Anyone that's lived in St. Pete for any measure of time knows that the African liberation movement is exemplified by the Uhuru movement, and that's O'Malley and Jesse and Mr. Neville. That's the reality. So they have to silence them. And we're at a point in time where the colonial settler states, be it Israel or the United States, are fading. They're losing their moral high ground to people, right? People are realizing and recognizing that those places are not real. They need to come down by whatever means necessary, land back from the river to the sea. And the charges against the Uhuru 3 are completely bogus. If they were about silencing the Russian people's influence, there's a motorcycle club in Miami called the Spetsnaz Motorcycle Club. Their purpose, according to Sunbiz, is to influence elections on behalf of Russia. Nobody's raided them. So that ain't what this is about. And if the United States government thinks that if you advocate for your relative's liberation, that you're a Russian spy, then I'm going to say this. With apologies to my Finnish mother's family, I want to be a good Russian spy then, if that's what that's about. Because that's what the Uhuru movement has stood for, the liberation of African people here and in Africa. And you need to get behind that. And when you get behind that, you realize the rest of it's garbage that they're throwing out there to criminalize and confuse you as to what the Uhuru movement is about. And I have a person getting closer and closer to me, so I'm guessing that's my time.
I know we're so limited on time. We want to make sure that we acknowledge and get through all of these incredible speakers. Up next, we have Francisco Romero, Benjamin Prado, and Alejandra, who is representing Unión del Barrio, who's had a long historic relationship with the Uhuru movement and the African People's Socialist Party. They're also representing the Chicano Mexicano Liberation Organization based in San Diego, California. And again, a long-time fraternal organization of the Uhuru movement. So just want to salute them. Uhuru.
Thank you, compañeras. Before I start the statement, I'll take a few seconds to just say how beautiful it must be to wake up here in St. Petersburg and be Black. And be filled with a clear scientific analysis that Black power will win.
That's right.
Look, beautiful flag. I mean, imagine waking up at that every morning and just feeling that pride that has been attempted to be beaten out of our people in the way that it's being beaten out or attempted to of our comrades, the Uhurus. So on behalf of Unión del Barrio, we are here today to stand in steadfast unity with the Hands Off Uhuru Fight Back Coalition. As we stand side by side, our comrade Penny Hess, Jesse Neville of the APSP, and of course, our comrade, long time, Chairman Omali Echutela of the African People's Socialist Party, Uhuru. Unión del Barrio answered this call of unwavering support. Hands off, independent Mexican anti-imperialist organization founded 43 years ago by veterans of the Chicano Power movement in the 60s and 70s, a movement that was viciously attacked as part of the U.S. colonial assault on organizations that aspire to lead our people under the principle of self-determination against settler colonialism. In our struggle, we are fighting to build a revolutionary socialist party led by La Raza. That's us, the indigenous people of this continent. Unión del Barrio is convinced that we need a political revolution where the interests of working class Mexicans and Latino Americanos, as well as other colonized peoples and oppressed peoples, can genuinely exercise their right to the control of their labor, our own land, and reject colonial economic exploitation imposed on our people since the illegal occupation of our lands by U.S. imperialism and the war of genocidal war of 1848. I'll end this section by just saying that this political analysis and our struggle then must center colonialism and imperialism as the core enemies of humanity. This is why it's critical that we come to stand here today with our comrades that are being attacked. Because we know that an attack on the African People's Socialist Party, on Chairman Omali Echutela, Penny Hess, and Jesse, really is about speaking against colonial violence, is an attack on all of us.
That's right.
For nearly 40 years, we've shared this fraternal relationship with our sister organization, the African People's Socialist Party. What unites us on our organization is a common undertaking that the U.S. colonial state has built on our backs of the genocide of our people, including Mexicans and indigenous people, and whose land, and imperialist invasion and has stolen. We maintain that our original people of this hemisphere, with thousands of years of civilization, altered by European-centered colonialism. We didn't cross the border. We didn't cross the border. That's a few words to my comment.
Well, comrades, I know we're short on time, but I did want to express, that our struggle is a 500-year struggle against settler colonialism. That in fact, the 500 years fighting the doctrines of discovery, of manifest destiny, of the Monroe Doctrine, and the doctrines of American exceptionalism. Unión del Barrio has the absolute rights to organize, to engage with, to struggle alongside with our sisters and brothers throughout Nuestra America, or what is known as Abya Yala. Colonizers came and changed it to the Americas. And we have that historical memory, just like we have the historical memory that our lands, because they were invaded by the settler colonial US nation, who imposed a political border, who then calls us foreigners on our land, we have an absolute responsibility and historic responsibility to fight back. And that's what this anti-colonial struggle is about. To unite our voice and efforts, to join struggles with the peoples of Nuestra America, to join the struggles of all those that have reclaimed their land, resources, and labor. We unite with the Cuban Revolution. We unite with the Bolivarian Revolution. We unite with the Nicaraguan Revolution, because that means power in the hands of the working class. And that's the representation that we uphold. And we have the absolute right to have allies, to build alliances with those peoples, because they are our people. I don't care what the United States government says. I don't believe them. They would want us to believe that somehow their mercenary that they put out in Venezuela is a president. A mercenary, a CIA agent who is responsible for the death squads in all of Nuestra America. And we reject that. We stand here in resolute unity and solidarity with our peoples who are building revolution as well as the people, and that includes the people here. The Uhuru movement, the African People's Socialist Party, because it is our fraternal organizations who have and understand that this struggle is an anti-colonial struggle, is an anti-capitalist struggle, and for power in the hands of the working class. Con eso, que viva la raza, viva, que viva the Uhuru movement, the African People's movement. Long live our fraternal religion.
I want to salute these comrades for coming out. It was so significant what he was saying. The Russians, African people, we ain't got Russian last names. And then when you think about the indigenous people, they are speaking Spanish. That's another colonizer language, something that a lot of people they fail to acknowledge. So colonialism comes in multiple languages, and it comes in one color. So next up, we want to talk to a lot of the white people, specifically through our leadership. The chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, a lot of the leadership of the white people in this organization, who are going to speak to their role, their history, their understanding, and of the role of white people as it relates to their existence in this colonial environment. So we're going to bring Penny Hess up again. This is going to be Uhuru 3, and she's going to be speaking once more for 5 minutes.
Hands off, Uhuru. Hands off, Chairman Amalia Shatella. It's an incredible honor to be here today. I'm profoundly moved by the support and the statements and the incredibly articulate and beautiful and moving statements by so many comrades, so many organizations of the brutal raids of July 29, 2022, who immediately came out like E12, December 12th, and so many others who have been there, who have been part of hands off of Uhuru Fight Back Coalition, and it makes me know that we will win and we are winning. I want to salute my leadership, Chairman Amalia Shatella, that in 1966, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, issued a paper called the Vine City Paper, in which it called for white people, basically expelled white people from SNCC, who was the key Black Power organization of that time. And the white people left, but did not do anything because, as the chairman has said, we have opportunism. We sit on a pedestal of slavery, of genocide, of stolen land and stolen labor, of African and indigenous people. And so Chairman Amalia Shatella formed the African People's Solidarity Committee in 1976, the first time ever that an African Black Power, African liberation organization that was very serious about winning the liberation of Africa and African people put white people under their leadership and sent us out into the white community with a mandate to win other white people and to raise reparations to African people. So, no Russian told the chairman that. No Russian talked to the chairman about reparations. That is part and parcel of who the African People's Socialist Party and Chairman Amalia Shatella is. And he has fought for 50 years. He has made reparations the household word. When APSC was first started, we took the message of reparations to the white community. We would have demonstrations and hold signs that said reparations to African people, and people would stop us and say, what is reparations? Nobody even knew what it was, but indeed it is a household word. Chairman Amalia Shatella did that. He made it. He had a goal. He held the first tribunal on reparations to African people in 1982. Yeah. And under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, APSC, for the first time, white people have been able to have principled relationships to African people and oppressed and colonized peoples on the planet Earth. For the first time, not as a colonizer who wants to control through opportunism the movements of the colonized, but under the leadership of the colonized, and that the party has fought for every possible relationship with oppressed and colonized peoples around the world, and one of which, a profound one, was the relationship with the Unión de Barrio and the Indo-Mexican people's struggle for liberation of their land. And that this is, I also want to say, by the way, that the party, the chairman has stood with every struggle. We recently found a photograph of Jainaba's father, the incredible Biko Lumumba, speaking at a rally in support of Leonard Peltier in San Francisco in about 1983, 84, the party stood with Leonard Peltier for his freedom then, who has been in prison for 50 years on his own stolen land. So I just want to say we are confident. We want everybody to be there who can. The trial starts next Tuesday. It is powerful to see the people. And it's just, we will win. We will win. Only the people can win this. Salute to Chairman Amalia Shatella, Comrade Jesse Neville, Deputy Chair Onis Shatella, and the African People's Socialist Party.
Let's give it up to Penny Hess. Uhuru. We now want to hear from Margaret Kimberly from the Black Agenda Report. It's going to be a recording, but let's give a big hand clap to the spirit of a brother who made his transition, Glenn Ford. He was also very instrumental in the Black Agenda Report. But now we hear from Sister Margaret Kimberly.
Hello, I'm Margaret Kimberly of Black Agenda Report. And power to the people. I'm here to support and declare my solidarity with the Uhuru 3. I was taught that I had the right to speak freely and associate freely, but the charges against the Uhuru 3 prove that those rights are tenuous at best. If we don't stand up for them, our rights to speak and associate freely, and to be internationalists, and to speak up for Black people will be in danger. And a presidential election year is especially dangerous when we are told that one side is quote unquote fascist, while the other is a democracy. This upcoming trial proves that we must always be on our guard, lest we lose the tiny bit of democracy we actually have, regardless of who sits in the White House. So let's stand up for the Uhuru 3. Support them, defend them, speak up for them. Power to the people. Thank you.
Uhuru. Oh, there we go. I want to bring up Aaliyah Ray, who's going to be doing a culture performance, but I also, if y'all haven't noticed, I'm enjoying a delicious icy by the Icy Girls. This is something that if you're hot like I am, you need to go ahead. They got $5 cups and $10 cups. If you're hungry, Gregory has vegan.
Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? It's so good to be here. I'm so honored. So honored to be here with you guys. I am Aaliyah Ray. I'm a local artist here, a local gospel artist in the Tampa Bay area. He's like, hey, they want you back. Come back. We want to do, I love you. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not long-winded. We're gonna sing and move on with our lives. Amen. So once again, so excited to be here. I'm going ahead and sing a couple songs. I hope you guys enjoy it. And want to start off first with what I've been requested to sing, which is "A Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke. We know a change has got to come. Amen. There's been a lot going on, too long. We tired, but it's not gonna always be like this. Yeah. All right. I was born. Little oh, just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come.
But I was brave to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody always telling me don't hang around. It's been a long but I know a change gonna come. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me believe. But he winds down in me, back down. Please. But now I think that I'm able to carry on. It's been a long. This next song I'm gonna sing is an actual original. Love you, funny. It's an original. It's called "I Love You." It is what I'm going to be playing on my little guitar here. Once again, like I said, I am a gospel artist, so this song is. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're gonna try to make this thing happen because I don't know, I'm just working. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear. Is it on? It's on. I don't care. I may need some help. No, I may. I'm gonna tell it sit down. You know what? Yeah. Y'all so patient, thank you. Y'all so beautiful, thank you. Y'all can hear it. Yeah. Can y'all back here? Y'all hear that? Because I'm trying to make sure that the mic is doing. Amen. All right. So the name of this song, like I said, is "I Love You." It's just a love song to the Lord. So I pray you guys enjoy. You're beautiful, you're marvelous, you're wonderful.
All praise, you deserve it. You're powerful, you're matchless, you're wonderful. And your timing is perfect. And no, I don't have all the words. I know that my heart is hurt. That's why I love you. I love you, Lord. Yes, I do love you. I love you, Lord. Yes, sir. You're Elohim, you're El Shaddai. You are God Almighty, you're I am that I am. You're Yahweh, we say you well, 'cause you're always with me. And though I don't have all the words, I know that my heart is hurt. That's why I love you. I love you, Lord. Yes, I do love you. I love you, Lord. I do love you. I love you, Lord. Yes, I do love you. Oh, I love you, Lord. And though I don't have all the words, is hurt. Yeah. I was just going to school. I already one more song. It's a little bit more upbeat. I pray y'all like it. It's another original. It's called Never Snow. No? Oh, okay. We got one more original. It's called Never Seen. A little bit more upbeat. So I hope y'all can dance with me a little bit. I hope y'all can dance with me. It's a little bit more. All right. So y'all look. If y'all ain't taught this by now, I'm real goofy. Okay, I'm real goofy. I like to make people laugh. I like people laughing with me. So I like interaction. Okay. So in this song, there is I want y'all to repeat with me. Never seen the righteous forsaken, nor its seed begging bread. Now that's scripture. That's the whole song. So if I sing it, y'all gonna sing with me? Yeah. Y'all gonna sing with me? Yeah. Because I don't want to be up here looking all cute and sweaty for no reason. All right. All right, go ahead, start it. You got started real high for me. The other thing is over no receipt, begging bread. Yeah. Coming up a little bit. No receipt, begging bread. So that we buy, I've been young and I'm old. Get everything I'm receiving over the bread. I was told that if I look to the hill from which cometh my help comes from the Lord. I never want to take it for granted all the things that He has done for me. I never can think of enough about how He rescued, set me free. It gets rough sometimes, but He always makes a way. That's why my faith can't be shaken now.
Lean on him every day, yeah. So I'll do what your word says. Save the thought of my life. What I eat, what I drink, on my body, Lord, I'm a living sacrifice. So I may never ever get it. I know you'll never let me down. And I'll stand on the truth that your word, and I'll never move. Because I know it never things up. No, it's back and bread. Everything's on. Oh, okay. No, it's back and bread. Everything's up. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Yeah, please lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the glory, forever. So I don't ever see the change for day. So it's free, back and bread in the process of day. So it's free, back and bread, don't ever see, don't ever see. Yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Never ever go without. He won't let me go without. No, yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Yes, I've given my last, but I never go without. Never go without. Won't let me go without. Daddy won't go without. You won't let me go without. Never go without. You won't let me go without. No, no. With all free, I get it. Get along with him. Gotta feel it. Yeah, yeah, I give it my last, but I never go without. Yes, I give it my last, but I never go without. Thank you so much.
Oh, DJ Eddie. Looks like we got another hit to add to the radio station. You know, and one of the things about, one of the things that happens when I hear a lot of gospel songs and a lot of revolutionary songs is that I start applying that to the people because, you know, when you hear never seen the righteous nor forsaken, and seeing without begging bread, it makes me think about the power and the unity of people coming together. We taking care of always going to be organizing, you know, even when it comes down to tithes and offers. That's how we build. That's how we got this radio station. That's how we got this Uhuru movement. That's why we're here today. All of the organizing that we do, it comes from the people. So I really want to salute Aaliyah Ray for the incredible cultural performance. Everybody give her another hand, please. And I want to bring up our next speaker, Belinda Parker Brown. This is the president and chief executive officer of the Louisiana United International, which is a bipartisan social justice organization coming from New Orleans, Louisiana, or Nolans, let me say it right, and a member of the Black is Back Coalition. So I really want to salute this sister. And I need to pull the mic down because everybody comes up, I gotta pull the mic down for, well, maybe not sister.
Wow, that was beautiful. I really enjoyed that. First of all, you all, I am so excited to be here. And all of you look so wonderful out there. And you cut my speech real short because I know how important it is for all of us to have the opportunity to have our voices heard. But I got something in. I was down, I'm from Louisiana, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. And the people there literally had their foot on my neck. I'm talking about, they're coming for you, your family and everybody, because you're standing up and you're fighting against something that has been going on there for over 120 years. It was a scheme, it was a plot to put people in prison and make slaves out of them. And we nicknamed it the racist, unconstitutional Jim Crow law. And they had determined that they were not going to let these people go free by any means. But because of determined, I don't know what it is about determined, but when you step foot in Louisiana, and he went on one of the well-known radio stations there, WBOK, and everybody knows that he was there in his presence, and his voice was being heard about what's happening in Louisiana, it turned the tide, things changed. And we won. We won, people. I'm telling you, we won. We beat them. And we had that law removed out of the Louisiana Constitution that they can no longer do that anymore. So when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. So it's all about how powerful we are when we come together and support each other. So I just want to say, when I say drop, you say charges. When I say drop, you say charges. Now, wait a minute, hold up. I really want you to mean this. I want you to dig deep and say it like you mean it. Because it's something about the power of our words. It's something about when we unite and come together, the Heavenly Father said that He will command a blessing. And we can ask Him anything and He will do it. So when I say drop, you say charges, but say it like you mean it. I'm only going to say it 3 times. Drop.
Powerful presentation. And she said, say it like you mean it. Drop. We're going to bring to the stage now Natsu Setu, revolutionary author, expert on law and colonialism. Please come forward. Ward Churchill's coming back to make a statement on behalf of Leonard Peltier. Please come forward. And Paul Mumphrey, co-founder of Friends of the Congo from Washington, D.C. Please come forward. Frank Lawrence from Julian Assange, Defense Committee from Chicago. Please come forward. So if all of y'all can come forward so we can move it so that we can get to hear the chairman and some other speakers, we appreciate that. And sometimes we say we are winning. I say we won. We already won. We already won. So say, we already won. We already won.
Thank you. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be with you all today. I'm so excited to see all of these wonderful folks out here, and hopefully everyone can make it to the trial. I want to say that we all know, right, that the Uhuru three are not being prosecuted because they're agents of the Russian government. That is just ludicrous. They are being prosecuted because they have so successfully advocated for the right of self-determination, because they have recognized that this is a colonial occupation and they have brought folks together to fight it. And it is the effectiveness of that struggle that leads to ludicrous prosecutions like this. And I want to say two things. One is that as a lawyer and someone who's done a fair amount of work in the international human rights forum, right, we know that what's happening, the charges that are being brought are unconstitutional and they're illegal. We also know that they violate international human rights law. We have human rights law about civil and political rights, as well as economic, social, and cultural rights. And those laws also have as a foundational premise recognition of the right to self-determination. And we have to remember that, because we are going into what the Supreme Court Justice Marshall in 1823 very candidly said are the courts of the conquered. So we are going into the courts of the conquered. Their law, the Constitution and this international law, is their law. And their law says that we are in the right. Okay, but they will still try to, as we say, railroad the Uhuru three. So we have to fight it. And the second point I wanted to make, Charles Barron has already made for me, but I'm going to repeat it. Sometimes when we say we are winning, it sounds like bravado, right? Some people look at us and think, they've got the guns, they've got the courts, they've got the police, they've got the money, right? How can we be winning? But if somebody is trying to eliminate you, trying to remove you, and, genocide is about killing people, but it's also about killing people as who they are, right? And they're trying to make us not be who we are, as well as just kill us. And if their objective is to eliminate us, and we are still here, we have won. I'm reminded also about something that the late Derek Bell said. He quoted a farmer who came up out of his fields while the Selma to Montgomery March was going by. And some journalists went up to the farmer and said, do you think you're going to win? And according to Derek, the farmer said, we won when we started. And I want to say we have won when we started. Thank you.
Well, I had not planned on speaking again, but Paulette Babadook could not be here today. So I step up. I'm a member of the Leonard Peltier Ad Hoc Committee who is here. And just briefly, the situation there, which is that we're in alliance with the Uhuru movement to free Leonard Peltier. Free Leonard Peltier. After 49 years in federal maximum security prisons for something he never did, for something for which there has not been in the last 20 years one piece of evidence that has not been rebutted. 49 years, he's in Coleman 1, which is he's going to turn 80 years old, evidently. Younger than Chairman O'Malley. Just had a parole hearing, which under the law, at the time he was convicted, he should have been paroled more than a decade ago, but they're applying a different set of laws that are more convenient to them. Denied him the parole again. and told him it would be 15 years before he would be eligible to come back. 15 years is the sentence they're trying to impose on Uhuru 3. As Chairman O'Malley has said quite rightly, at 82 years old, that for him is the life sentence. And Leonard Peltier is a prime example of what the rhetoric now accurately describes as death by incarceration. Leonard is blind in one eye, losing sight in the other, has acute diabetes. Can no longer walk without a walker, is confined in a cell 24 hours or at least 23 hours a day, 4 out of every 7 days. And they want to keep him there another 15 years under those conditions. Fabricated a case. It didn't have to do with the deaths of 2 FBI agents that he was convicted of killing. They knew at the time that he had not done that, but they needed someone to hold up as a scapegoat. 2 FBI agents died imposing oppression on the Pine Ridge Lakota reservation that was being resisted. They were looking to crush that. They miscalculated. They lost 2 of them for that. Someone must pay. Someone must serve as example. Someone must be held up and say the price of resistance is more than you want to pay. Leonard has never backed off, ever. But he needs to come out. And O'Malley and the others of the Uhuru 3 need not to go in. Winning takes many forms. Leonard coming out is one, they're not going in as another. We understand the struggle before us. With that, we'll talk it out.
Uhuru comrades, Uhuru brothers and sisters, I'm going to make a few comments about Julian Assange. It's his connection with the war on dissent and the situation we are facing today. There are thousands of Assange supporters in the United States who have been active in his campaign for many years. It's critical that Assange supporters pivot to defend the Uhuru 3. This is the issue of the moment. This is the campaign of the moment. This is the most important free speech campaign that exists today. Yeah. We must unite behind the Uhuru 3. Yeah. Julian Assange is now free. He accepted a plea deal, but with firstly, in effect, he pleaded guilty to journalism, the crime of journalism. Journalism should not be a crime. Joe Biden has proclaimed on multiple occasions that journalism is not a crime. Except if you disagree with government policies, if you disagree with US foreign policy, if you disagree and want to expose US war crimes, then it becomes a crime. We have the First Amendment in the United States. We are led to believe that we have freedom of speech. We are led to believe that we have a free press. But waiting in the wings, there's the 1917 Espionage Act, which ensnared Julian Assange. The 1938 Foreign Agents Registration Act, which is relevant to the Uhuru 3. These tools are all at the disposal and can be used in innovative ways by the state in the war on dissent. The Uhuru 3 are being criminalized for their political speech. In particular, I think, because they told the truth about the US proxy war on Russia.
Our government is lying about the Ukraine conflict. And these lies could easily lead to World War III. We need truth tellers. The Uhuru 3 are not Russian agents. That is preposterous. They are heroic truth tellers. So victory to the Uhuru 3.
Uhuru! My name is Paul Pumphrey, one of the co-founders of Friends of the Congo. We stand in support of justice and dropping all charges against Uhuru 3. For those who may not know a little bit about the Congo, may I share some of it? One, the Congo in area is the second largest country in Africa. Two, Patrice Lumumba, who was the first elected prime minister of the Congo, was then killed by the US state. Why? Because he simply said he wanted the resources of the Congo to be used for the people of the Congo. Now, what are those resources? One, the Congo is the second largest rainforest in the world. And that particular rainforest absorbs more carbon in the air than all the rest of the rainforests in the world. Two, the Congolese River is the second most powerful river in the world. And if that one river took advantage of hydroelectric dams, it could produce enough electricity for the continent of Africa for the next 30 years without using one drop of oil, without using a chunk of coal, or even using uranium. Now, what would that do for the development of Africa as a whole? Three, the Congo has roughly about $22 trillion worth of minerals. And let's be clear what we're talking about when we say these minerals. Your cell phone has the Congo in it. Yeah. Whether it's the cobalt in the battery or the coltan in the electronics. And the United States recognized for the United States economy to be blooming, it needs those minerals cheap. Because the other place that has the cobalt is Australia. And do you really believe that the Australians is going to sell those minerals cheap? No. And so if you take advantage of the minerals in the Congo, you're looking at a situation where if the Congo was able to refine its own resources, you're looking at a country that could generate over $300 trillion. Now imagine what that could do for Africa, outside of just the Congo. So to be short, Euro 3, that's right, and justice for the people of the Congo. I encourage you to go to freecongo.org and Friends of the Congo. Thank you very much. Again, bye-bye.
Uhuru, I want to make a statement on that. My last name is Lumumba. I was named after Patrice Lumumba. And I think it's so relevant that we talk about all of the resources, not just coming out of the Congo, but from all of Africa. We have a chapter of the African People's Socialist Party in Sierra Leone, where we all know that the diamonds come from. But the most incredible, most valuable resource is the people, African people. And when we even talk about the borders, we're calling them the Congo, we're calling it Sierra Leone, we're calling it the Ivory Coast, we're calling it Cameroon. But Chairman has explained long before the Joe Rogan episode came out, long before all of this was exposed, Chairman was talking about the cobalt, the coltan, talking about the people, talking about all of the resources that could feed Africa as a nation. And we all are African people. When we talk about Congolese, that is a border that was created. Those are Congolese people now, but who were they? Who were we? We are part of an African nation forcibly dispersed around the globe. So when we think about the things that we enjoy here, we only enjoy them as proximity, the crumbs of the booty that is the colonial booty that's been brought here. It's our job to work in the plant and manufacture all of these. It's not our job. We are not colonizers.
Right.
The things that we think we're enjoying is not a life of freedom. It's a life of servitude. And that's so important when we talk about the African identity, who we are, and why those resources are our birthright. So I think that's really important to say. But it's not my time to speak. So let me go ahead and introduce Jennifer Sullivan from the Florida Green Party. And then we're also going to bring up Fatima Mans afterwards from the Republic of New Africa, who's based in Miami, Florida. And then we'll have another culture break. Uhuru.
Well, stay this one way. I'm spokesperson for the Green Party of Florida Women's Caucus, and I can always think of things to say, but I was in the DNC Chicago and for the Poor People's Army March with Sister Jill Stein and Sherry Honkla, and you know how when you go to these events, people throw, give you the handy things. I found this and pulled it out of my backpack. And he had pies, and it made me think, like, hey, the Uhurus. Anyways, it was a pretty good event, and I wanted to say that I can also offer solidarity. I've been in Bolivia and I've been in Nicaragua lately, and the Global South has solidarity with the Uhurus. So just want to say, all I can say when I get back to the pies, it's like Chairman Amali, Penny Haas, Jesse, they're all members of the movement, and they're the three, and they're guilty of making pies and building up neighborhoods and giving and teaching for that. That's a threat. That's a threat to the empire. So this is from the Chicago Committee for a New Society. Plenty for war, nothing for the poor. We're surrounded by plenty of everything, so why can't everyone have a good life? Billions of dollars go to the genocide of the Palestinian people, and billions more to the Nazi-infiltrated Ukrainian government to supposedly protect them. But nothing can be spared to protect the workers here from homelessness and ruin. Nothing spared to guarantee good health care for all. Half the country is struggling to make ends meet. With the growing inflation, they tell us, don't worry, it'll get better. Well, people, they go out, the houses and buildings stand empty across the country. Warehouses are stacked with goods to the rafters that can't be sold. Tons of food thrown in the garbage every day. Ask any person in a grocery store. Yes, it's all out there, but it's not distributed fairly. So only those who can pay have any security. And that's the economic system that both the Republicans and the Democrats are protecting the property of the wealthy and protecting them against us, the people at the bottom. So no matter how divided they appear to be, they're completely united in everything. Take our last cent and our life, sweat, and blood. The ruling class of this country has constructed a government that protects those who own the land, the technology, and the natural resources. This is their private property, and we can't have anything if we can't pay them. If we take what we need, we break their laws. We break their laws. We join 5 million people in this country. They're either in prison, local jails, on parole or probation. So the ruling class of this property owners is the same class of people who robbed the Native Americans of their land and attempted to wipe them out entirely. They're the same class that chained immigrant children from Europe to machines in the northern factories and guaranteed that they worked. They're the same class that enslaved millions of people that they kidnapped from Africa, brutalizing them in forced labor. So our only hope lies in organizing ourselves for a new vision around the future. Yes, it's time to join all those who shout, we're at the bottom and we're coming for the top. As a Green, my party stands in solidarity against this dying system of colonialism and with the Uhuru 3, that's right, and reparations and justice for Palestine. And I just want to say, please vote. Right. When you sit it out, you're like saying, I'm good. So don't sit up, vote. And I hope that you vote against the Democrats and against the Republicans and vote of the Greens, Jill Stein and Patricia.
Uhuru.
That made me want to also salute DC Ona Zane, who is here, our deputy chair. You know, we talk about the grocery stores and how they hike up the prices and they're only building in their own white suburban areas that they like to build up. But we have the Black Power blueprint. And in St. Louis, we completely transformed that entire area in the Black community, provided food through the Gary Brooks Community Garden and a farmer's market as well. So I want to salute DC Ona Zane and salute the chairman Omali Ishatella. Uhuru. I got word that Fatima Mez is not able to make it, but sends the revolutionary salute and says hands off Uhuru. And so what we're going to do is move on to another culture break. I want to salute Comrade Malik Shabazz, who's going to read a poem. And Malik Shabazz is from the Kwanzaa 365 Live organization. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Black Power. Free land. Real quick, I just want to say, yes, Sister Comrade Fatima Mez could not make it at the last minute, but she does send her revolutionary love. And also, greetings from the Republic of New Africa. We give that greetings to Uhuru movement, all right? Now, I ain't gonna talk too long because I don't want to get kicked off the stage. So, here's my little poem. And I'm gonna dedicate this to the Uhuru movement and to Chairman Omali Ishatella. And this poem is called I Grab the Mic. I'll check this out real quick. I need some crowd participation. I'm gonna say I grab, and once together you say you grab what? It's a practice run. I grab. Now this is the real thing, ready? I grab. I grab the mic tight when it's time for the mic light. My game's tight. Spinning calls from instant early morning to late night. I'm uptight, cause rappers are over rhyme right. It's all about the bling bling and the limelight. Hey yo, family, I'm coming to you from hindsight with one mic, addressing social issues all in one night with no stage fright. Hey yo, I like Mike, but he's so big, Mike looking like Fright Night. They just might convict him cause he's not white. We ball and pop like scientific poetry, I right. So I can shine light on dead minds cause they dead, right? So back to the crime scene, the one to rhyme, back that can't reach my mind's height. Or penetrate scientific insight. Plus, I'm in a fine box, they show like a fine ox. Hit the shit goes to the micro box. So I can push CCTVs and run for a 10 spot. It should make your mind rock. If you resist, it'll give you a blood clot. I can't stop. They shot cop. Don't scare cops. This constitutional fit cop. I was born, and so was hip hop. Now I constantly feel in Miami, I chill. If I go like Nelly, I be gripping the mill. I'm telling you still, I'm spitting the will. I live in a police state, it's giving me chills. Because I got the fall on death row and paying the bills. Shut your mouth, son. You know the drill. Step out of line and you could be killed. When we unite, we can take our freedom and hammer the hill. For real. And human exploitation, AIDS and cancer. I'm not done, so beat the next stanza. Just hold this a political reality. The world is sick from all this insanity. With corporate goons, break the people we don't know what's on the right things because they're not slinging or chasing panties. Misguidance from Washington to urban shanty. It can't be a right mind fantasy to engage in trickology. So I'm looking for an apology for the mistreatment of the mistreated. I spent hard from coast to coast, but nobody's listening, so I have to continuously repeat it. That the devil's advocate, fight it, has been illegally seated. The world knows it, but the American mind, they will have to delete it. Read on the justice of Russian chicken and pay attention, and you too will see it. How to get to enact the Constitution. Oops. Talk too much and you'll be cruising for a country. What's causing all this confusion? I tell you what I did. We live in Babylon. Just turn on cable news and listen to Sean Hannity and the rest of the corporate mouthpieces. Babylon. Some more shit than 5 old ladies at the community salon. Considering the real reasons why Palestinians become human bombs. And this is the calm before the storm. What do you expect after 75 years of doing wrong? In the Middle East peace process? Shit. It seems to be the same old song. Democracy denied, because the cats that run the show that see it all colonized. They consider the anti-speech, but it's the same old lies. Delivered to the pockets with the same old cliche lines like, no child left behind. Well, then kiss my behind, because I don't beat the game. That's why I lecture through rhyme. And from time to time, I get clicks on my line. And you still don't know what I mean? Then never mind. Let's just say I'm maybe running around from jail like shine. Cause you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And I'm gonna find. I'm not into the change. I'm peaceful, Malcolm, Pinero, Gandhi, Mia, Tupac, everybody. So this whole topic is empathy. Because it's a quiet war, silent weapons. Now this is a cautious thing. That comes forth, that comes forth. Don't be afraid to speak, right to live, and the same you meet. As for me, yeah, I've been seeing the patient has been used every hand in the week. Why not? I can't see. Because human decency is not part of U.S. policy. Man, don't break this, so don't get mad at me. 1.5 million Iraqi children dead. What about the Bush family? Because they're heartless and racist, making war on top people and killing their children in faraway places. Mass guys got through skinny and live with traces. Everybody knows it's not the terrorism and WP's faces and your push, U.S. faces. But you saying your plight is every way above the faces. Okay, man, I got it. Because they're gonna try to trace this.
Well, Martin technique ain't got nothing on that. Where DJ Eddie? We'll have to add him to the station. I also wanted to make an announcement. We have the Burning Spear newspaper for sale, and you don't have to buy just one. You could buy a bundle. We got a bundle of 25 or more. And you can get it at the distributor's rate. So if you have a storefront online or brick and mortar, make sure that you get it. This is the arm of the revolution. This is the equivalent of the Negro World that Marcus Garvey's UNIA organization had distributed. And it's also the longest running revolutionary newspaper in existence. So go ahead and get you a copy today. You can get a single one, but also go ahead and get a distributor's bundle as well. So let's move on to the next segment. We've got another one of the Uhuru 3. Oh, Jesse Neville. So swift. Uhuru.
Uhuru! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Chairman Omali Yeshitela! Hands off Chairwoman Penny Hatch! Hands off the Uhuru movement! Free Leonard Peltier! Not one more year! Free Leonard Peltier! Uhuru! Uhuru, hands off! It's a great honor to be here. I'm very, very moved and humbled to be standing before all of you. And I want to start by saluting and acknowledging, first and foremost, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the primary target of this vicious assault on the African liberation movement and freedom of speech, and a hero for all of humanity, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, and Chairwoman Penny Hess, who has modeled for me and so many other white people what principled solidarity with African liberation looks like for nearly 50 years. And Deputy Chair Ona Zane Yeshitela, another incredible and brilliant leader of the African People's Socialist Party. And I want to say that I would not be standing here today without these courageous human beings that I just named, these leaders who represent the highest expressions of humanity. So I salute the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. As was stated, my name is Jesse Neville. I am also a member of the African People's Solidarity Committee and the chair of our mass organization. And I am also one of the Uhuru 3, along with Chairwoman Penny Hess and our leader, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And many of you have probably seen the video footage of what this very parking lot and area and staging ground where we are right now looked like on July 29th of 2022. It was filled with FBI agents, dozens, and if not over 100 FBI agents with vans, with armored vehicles, with battering rams, with flashbang grenades. At this location, here in St. Petersburg, at the home of Director Akile Anai, who also want to salute, at the home of Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair, as well as at their home in St. Louis, where they were, at the home of Chair
Louis and at the Uhuru Solidarity Center in St. Louis. And I agree with Charles Barron said, necessary to have that many FBI agents and that many assault rifles when they could have sent one guy with a briefcase and a little badge and a warrant to say, I'm here to execute a search warrant. They did that because they wanted to intimidate Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And think about that. Imagine the FBI, really try to imagine the FBI sitting around looking at Chairman Omali Yeshitela and saying, if we send enough flashbangs this man, I think that will go down in history as one of the most colossal and embarrassing miscalculations in U.S. history. What a joke. And they thought they could silence you. They thought they could silence the voice of the people. And your presence here is proof. We have won. Chairman Omali Yeshitela has won. The people have won. They have lost. So we talk about what's going to happen in the trial, but it's already over. They have lost. So I know I don't have a lot of time, but I want to quickly talk to you. What is this charge? What are these charges all about? They're saying Chairman Omali Yeshitela, 82 years old, fighting for the liberation of Africa and African people for over 60 years of his life, suddenly in 2014 decided to start a career as a secret agent for Vladimir Putin. They're trying to say that Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Chairwoman Pennyhouse, myself, and the Uhuru movement became pawns in a Russian government conspiracy to do what? To sow discord in America. As the chairman said, Russians were not there when Mike Brown was gunned down. Russians were nowhere to be seen when George Floyd was killed. Russians were nowhere to be seen when Sandra Bland was killed. That's right. So it is complete and utter nonsense. And it is an insult to the leadership of Chairman Omali Yeshitela and to the leadership of Black people who don't, like the chairman said, don't need Russians or anyone else to tell them to fight, to tell them that they are oppressed, to tell them how to fight. African people taught the world, not the other way around. Taught Russia, taught everybody, not the other way around. Taught us as white people, not the other way around. All of it has to do with speech. Everything they've accused the Uhuru movement of doing on behalf of the Russians is protected by the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. So I'll close with this. That's right. Like the chairman said, the Uhuru 3 are not guilty of these charges. There is no evidence whatsoever of the nonsense that they have accused the chairman and the Uhuru 3 of carrying out. If it was about the law, we would get an acquittal yesterday. If it was about the evidence, we would have gotten an acquittal yesterday. It has nothing to do with the law. They're using the law as an instrument to make a political attack. So we have to make a political counterattack. And that's what this is about. And that's what you are about. So yes, we are winning. We won. Hands up, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Charging your elbow.
I want to bring to the stage now our comrade from New York City, Sister Betty Davis. Betty Davis is the co-founder of the New Abolitionist Movement, and she's the chair of the Education Working Group of the Black is Back Coalition. But beside all of that, this is my partner in crime. Speaking of committing crime, this is my partner here over the years. And let's give it up for Ralph Pointer, the spirit of Ralph Pointer, because they work in partnership and we love our sister.
Had to leave. We're lived in a tenement in Harlem. My dad worked on the railroads. He was a member of the Pullman Porters Union, and he was an organizer. I didn't until he was on. My mom was one of those that escaped from the South, and she was working in the factories that only got us working in World War II. And the babysitter lived in a tenement, and the landlord would come around for the rent. And every time the landlord came around, he used to pick me up. And somebody just so funny, real funny. And so finally said, my mother, I told back of her, 3 years old. She said, come on, baby, put your coat on. We gotta go to the babysitter. And I took my coat, I threw down that coat, and I said, no. And I saw my dad come to the door. She said, sweetie, I'm late. I gotta get to work. Please put your coat on. And this time I picked up that coat and I threw it clear across the room. And my dad said, that's it. We gotta take turns. You're gonna have to give up the job in the factory for some day work. And when I'm home, I'll take care of her, but she ain't going back there no more. I want you to understand and know who you are. Yeah. You are abused just like I was. Yeah. It's the goddamn government. Yeah. All right? And we don't need the Russians to tell us it's a funny feeling. Yeah. We don't need the Russians to say it's something wrong. When there's so many things, we don't need the Russians to tell us how many babies died. Yeah. Okay, in the African community. And we don't need the Russians to tell us how to think. I just hope I can pull up this damn phone, you people with your technology. And there's a quote from Marcus Garvey, and he says, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And so if you have ever heard Chairman Omali Yeshitela speak just once, you understand why Marcus Garvey was such a threat. Whenever I am with you people, I feel like you're like me. I can't help it. You do something to me. If all I can do is give you a dirty look, I do it. That's who you are. That's why you're here. You can't see oppression. And you know a terrorist. You know a pervert. You know a molester when you see it. And when you say you don't like capitalism, because you don't like the curse, there's a lot of other things you'd like to say. So I'm not worried, because what they need when they say we are winning, every time you stand up to an abuser and put your coat down and say, no, you are winning. You are insisting on your right to be human. You are insisting on your right to be elected or approved. You are insisting on not to be dehumanized, but killing babies in Gaza, but starving babies in Yemen, but creating a world where the African people who are peasants have to say, I have the right to vote. And just in case these, I don't want to do it, Pam, I'm not going to say it. Just in case they I have forgotten, I remember what Fannie Lou Hamer said when they accused her being a communist, was saying she had the right to vote after they beat her after that. Yeah. She says, I don't need the communists to tell me who was beating me up in that. And this is what I am proud to say to you. We have won because we insist on being human and fighting against the worst terrorism in the history of the world.
Uhuru! Wow, wow, wow. What an incredible presentation. I gotta say, I'm just so incredibly honored to be here. I'm so incredibly honored to have brought up all of these incredible revolutionary figures from the community. And I'm even more honored to bring up the chairman, of the African People's Socialist Party. And I'm not just saying that, I'm not just being biased here because he looks incredible, all right? Check out the gun, all right? And you know, I think he's the same age, if not even older than Joe Biden. I like the joke and call him Joe Biden. I mean, this is the type of leadership. This is a gift. This is what Mama Africa has gifted us with to help lead us, to free her. So let's bring up our chairman.
Our chairman, y'all rise to your feet. Let's give a standing ovation to our chairman, the Honorable Omali Yeshitela. And the only thing I want to challenge him in is arm wrestling. I'm not going to do that.
First, I want to, what is the name? Could you come up quickly? Chanel, look up. This is all of the names to tell. This is my mom. And I wanted to bring her forward, not just because she's my wife. She was in that house on July 29, 2022, when those military forces attacked us and with apparent intent to kill. They were in front of my house with assault weapons that had mounted on them laser targeting devices. So when I came out of that house, pre-dawn, as they commanded over loudspeakers, with grenades going on all around the neighborhood and in the back stairwell of my house. And when I came downstairs and ran into this military force there with armored personnel vehicles parked in front of my house. And when Olazane Ishitela followed me out of the house, she was almost hit in the face with a drone that they sent right up into the house after they did that. And so she's been a soldier, but more than just somebody who happened to have been around when I came under attack. She is the architect of most of the Black Power blueprint. And I want to say the Black Power blueprint is part of our strategic objective to create a dual and contending powers, to create our own power, even in the process of deconstructing the relationship that we have with colonialism and capitalism. And so she's been in charge of that. When you look around and see what we have here, this is a part of the work that she has done. And I just want to say that. I just want to let people know that. Comrades, sisters and brothers, it's been said before, but we are not guilty of the charges that have been made against us by the United States government. I did not get in this movement because of the oppression of African people. That is what informed my consciousness. And so we are engaged in this fight now in terms of this trial. And there is a pretense being made that this has to do with some violation of the law, when the very Constitution itself right now is at stake. The Constitution of the United States, the one that they said is supposed to be so valuable, the Bill of Rights that they said was supposed to be so valuable, the First Amendment that they said was supposed to be so valuable. This is what's under attack. In other words, they are in the process of attacking themselves and their own system when they do this thing that they do to us. And this is a part of a process of, I just want everybody to understand. You talk about colonialism and the colonial mode of production. You must understand that even though they are trying us today, this is improvement. Because they used to not try us, they just find the nearest tree or the nearest place where they could burn us to death. I mean, that's the reality. Drag us behind vehicles and things like that. When the First Amendment was passed, when the Bill of Rights were passed in this country, it was, and when it was ratified by the Congress, it was 1791. were black people in this country in 1791. We were functioning as the horrendous colonial slaves, had no rights. There was no pretext of rights for black people in this country. We were openly raped, and humiliated on a regular basis. This is the reality that we were confronted with. So the First Amendment, the Constitution, was not for us. Who was it for?